Welcome to Diving Deep. I'm your host, Crystal, and this is a place where we talk all things spirituality, self-help, and taboo. A safe space to have deeper, meaningful conversations and explore the nuances of life. Diving Deep welcomes everyone. Perfection isn't what is expected. Instead, what's valued here is the honoring of our truths, the deconstruction of social norms that don't serve our greatest good, and making changes to live a truly happy and authentic life. Now, if you're looking for a deep but keep it real type shit podcast, you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. Hey. Ya tu sabes, Yesca Cristal up in the building. I know you missed me. It's been a few weeks, I think, at the least, 2 to 3 weeks. And for good reason. I was out of town in North Dakota for a little hot minute, just attending to, unfortunately, some just really not so fun stuff. But we are back, and it's been kind of a struggle getting back into the groove of things. I don't know. I feel like whenever I'm away from home for an extended amount of time, or something comes up like that's heavy on my energy, on my heart, just big things. It's not hard per se in the moment. Yeah, it's like it feels like a burden, of course. But more than anything, it's harder for me to get back into my routine. So like my day to day, like getting the house clean and then getting back to like my podcast or like things like that I have on my to-do list. So it's been a struggle. I'm catching up on my course, my integrated attachment theory course, which honestly is so phenomenal, very informational. And I was behind a couple of weeks. But I'm finally like almost caught up. Today, the goal is to get caught up so then I'm ready to start. I have a few weeks left and I want to be really like in it instead of in catch up mode. I want to really be in my lessons and, glean as much as I can and be in the calls live. Because the last two times I've like listened for like the first hour, but I'm like, what tools are they talking about? Because I haven't, when I was in North Dakota and away from home, I was busy doing shit. And that's not like bullshitting you guys. There was a lot going on. I might tell you guys later, but right now we go, keep it on the low, but just some stuff that needs to get handled, if you know what I mean. But here we are, and it's great to be back. And shout out to Lil Faded. Lil Faded. I think I need to turn my mic up a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe. Oh, perfect. Sorry. Real time adjustment. Maybe too much. God damn, girl. Just a tiny hair. I'm no recording engineer, y'all, okay? I just kind of say fuck it and go. But anyway, shout out to Lil Faded. He's been helping me with my content batching just because it has been a lot, and I talked to him before I started my course because I'm also in the middle of another course for data analyst data analyst. That one's been on the back burner though, not gonna lie, but I'm like, I want to stay posting on my socials, but how do I do it when I only have the bandwidth for like literally one thing right now other than my baby? My kids, primarily, but baby, I say baby because she's the one that takes up the most energy. My sleep, my everything. So I have my 9-year-old right now with me, Maxine, and it's been great. She's been a lot of help. I haven't wanted to offload too much on her because I don't want to parentify her. It's solely up to her. If she asks me to help, sometimes I do a little extra, but I end up paying her if, she helps me a little extra other than like a quick little something, something. But yeah, shout out to Lil Faded. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. It's been very helpful not having to think about that or posting this. And it's nothing crazy, but if I can gain even like an hour or two of my time or like my mental space, like that is so helpful. So shout out to you, Faded. You the MVP is always. Balaji Music, Yatusa, like you're a real one for her. And shout out to Rosita. I don't know if you watch or listen to my podcast, but if you do, hello. We definitely need to have a hangout. But that's that, y'all. I just wanted to show you my cute little squishy. My daughter bit my other one and it opened, so I'm not gonna give her any more squishies. But this is like a little dumpling. If you're watching this, it comes in a little dumpling thing. I normally don't like buying like cheap little shit, but this one actually like I really like it. It's not as satisfying as my last one, but I can toss this one around and it helps so much with my concentration when I'm in class. And yeah, that's the new addition because the other one, sadly, RIP. And yeah, that is my update. I also, I'm coming up on my eighth month almost of paid maternity leave, and I'm so grateful, so thankful. And it's been a little wild up in these parts, but I shout out to like my psychiatrist, my therapist, which I also need to reschedule appointments, working with me to get me right and get me feeling better. And yeah. But with that being said, I think that's a long enough intro before you close your eyes and go to sleep listening to me. Today, dun dun dun, is going to be about. Hold on, I have the exact quote here and I don't want to fuck it up. Okay. So, something that I've been aware of, but it's been more of a in one of our lessons, I'll just say that I definitely it came to mind and it clicked. It's so crazy when you're in self-help or personal growth type shit. Like you'll hear things, you'll talk about things, but then there's just like a way that it's said, like that it just really stands out to you, and you're like, oh, like I want to talk about it more, or hey, I want to learn about that a little bit more, or hey, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. It just takes that one person or a certain way of, mix and matching the words or a book, whatever. But yeah, sometimes things just fucking hit. And for some reason, I've already talked about needs on this podcast, but I wanted to talk about it even more because it just stood out so much to me recently. So if you can't meet your own needs, you'll have a hard time receiving. And it's so crazy because, again, I know I've already talked about needs. We're going to go there again because I want you guys to be aware, to start thinking about what you really want. What do you really want your life to look like? What do you want your relationships to look like? If you ask yourself, what's the other saying that you say? You can only love somebody as deeply as you love yourself, or something like that. Okay, so potato. If you can't meet your needs, how do you expect others to do it for you? And I don't mean in the exact like direct way. I mean as in you being regulated and used to being treated a certain way by yourself. If you can't do that, like you're not going to be able to receive it, at least not well, at least not most of the time. Cuz you think about it, it's going to feel foreign. It's going to feel foreign to you. You're going to be weirded out. It's going to be like, oh, what? Like, that's weird. What are they doing? Oh my gosh, they're talking to me. Oh my God, they're being nice. Oh my God, I'm getting a compliment. Like, if you're listening right now and you are the type that when you get a compliment, you're like, oh, no, 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 no. Or, you deflect the compliment, or you say even worse, like, no, I'm ugly, or no, this or this and that. Anytime anybody gives you a compliment, whether it's physical, about anything, even commends you on like your work that you do, or your knowledge, or your taste in something, fill in the blank here, y'all. Okay. If you have that instinct feeling, that means that you in a way you're not accepting that. You're not open to your blessings, to your feel good energy type shit. And that says a lot. It doesn't mean you can't change it. We can always change, right? We can always change. But that is to highlight, okay? Because it's going to be connected if it's in partnership or friendship or whatever. And if you complain about or you have issues with somebody not treating you right, or um, somebody not doing nice things for you, or buying you flowers, or thinking about this, or complimenting, blah, 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 or noticing little things. And you think, okay, first and foremost, am I doing those things for myself? Do I compliment myself or do I put myself down? Do I accept compliments from people, whether, again, the list that we just named in any area of life? Can I accept it or do I feel weird? Do I think that they're lying? Do I think that they maybe want something from me? What exactly is going on in your brain? What exactly do you do? And there's work for you to do there, of course. Coffee time with a little touch of Jazzy's fur, of course. So you think about this and it's like, okay, you say you want these things, but again, here with the subconscious, your subconsciously and nervous system speaking, your body will reject the idea, will reject, okay, for example, I'm thinking of people that didn't receive a lot of affection or like kisses and hugs, growing up. And then, you see in the movies and it's like, wow, they look like, that's beautiful or this and this and that, but that can't be for me. Or when somebody goes to hug you or just a caring gesture, you like, ugh, like, what's going on? Like, that feels weird. That should not feel weird. It should not feel weird. It should feel good because we are humans. We're wired, literally wired for connection. That is our like essence. Like that is at the core of us. We need connection to survive. We need connection to heal and grow. And so when you're not able to accept that, that is a huge, it's a sign for you. So if you're any of these things that I'm listing, you have now the power to change that. If you want a loving partner, if you want this caring friend or whatever, even with a relationship to yourself, if you're more intrigued in the fact that you can have a better relationship to yourself, then it's time to get, stepping. I was listening to Almost 30 podcasts, or no, to be the expanded podcast, sorry, to be magnetic expanded podcast. And one of the girls on there was saying that little steppy is better than no steppy. And it just stuck with me. And so, yeah, we want to do that. Little steppy is better than no steppy. Okay, so now we know that if we have a hard time receiving kindness, compliments, love, attention, just know that deep down inside of you, we all want that. We crave that. But it's the blocks and it's the conditioning, it's the trauma that has wired us to think it's unsafe. Like, okay, so whenever let's say if you're a baby or in a relationship that it was bad and you wanted their attention or quality time or affection and they like treated you or talked to you a certain way, like, oh, like, why do you want that? Or, oh, you're too much, or you're this, or if you're a baby, like you're ignored when you cried or told to be quiet or told to not cry, like, oh, boys don't cry, or why are you crying over that? That's not a reason to cry, or, all these things that made you feel that feeling of being vulnerable, that accepting kindness is something to be fearful of. And that's really a problem because it really does affect your overall quality of life when we're in that state. So in that case, you just take little steps. And this is also something I'm learning. It has to do with exposure. So if you're not used to, let's say that, yeah, you're in a relationship, you're not used to like receiving like lots of hugs and attention and this and that. You're not gonna go off and just like, okay, hug me every single day and let's hug all day and la 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 la, and let's do this and let's do that, or bring me flowers or bring me this. You're not going to want to ask for everything right away because your nervous system and your subconscious is literally wired to be like, no, that's probably not safe. Or no, we don't know that. What's going on? No, that's weird, you know? So you don't want to like do too much to the point that it blocks you from continuing to try to improve that area of life or being able to receive in whatever area of life you want to receive more in. So you would do something like, okay, so I know that let's start with a simple one. Let's just do hugs because I keep thinking of one of my sisters. Sorry, sisters. I won't say which one, but one of them really had a hard time with hugs, right? It was like cringe. And even if like I were going through something and crying, like I know she cared and she would definitely try to do her part. And she would go up to me and she'd be like, if you're watching this, this will make more sense, but she will stand next to me and just have this look and just kind of awkwardly shuffle next to me and then like, pat me in the back like this and like, oh, I'm sorry, sister. Like really, really awkward, really stiff body language and whatnot. And that's because of that. And so when you think about it in your relationships, like we don't want to feel awkward in our relationships. We don't want to feel like cringe. We don't want to feel put off and we don't want to block our blessings. Like who the fuck wants to block their blessings? Not me. And I've blocked them before unknowingly, but now that I know better, I'm open to the blessings, at least some of them. But yeah, if you want to have a fulfilling, wholesome life, a life that you love, a love that you um, just feel so alive and yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. You have to do these little steps. So like, for example, the hugs. You can start in little increments. I'll put my partner as my example too. He's a dismissive avoidant through and through. And he just had the hardest time giving me like long hugs. And I really crave that. I'm a very like physical type person. And so um this wasn't going to make or break our relationship, but imagine if you are having a hard time receiving hugs or you have a hard time giving hugs. This is just like a small example. You put in the blank wherever you want or with whatever you want. But imagine something as simple as that. Okay. So for reference, like before it was like 0.5 seconds and it was like, all right, I could feel his body just like, whoa, all right, I'm going back. Okay, fast forward like 3 years. 3 years, literally just like yesterday. We were hugging in our hallway and we hugged for like a good 10 to 15 seconds. And I wasn't like I was counting, but I could tell it was a long time because it was a big hug and we kind of rocked back and forth and took some deep breaths and it just felt really good. And I'm like, wow, like I felt loved and I felt held and I felt like we were there for each other. So something as small as a hug and just to know that you can light somebody's day up, your partner, your best friend, your sister, your mom. And imagine sometimes, like, if you're dismissive avoidant, you might not feel this because you're a lot more logical. We can go on that another day. But for the rest of the attachment types, all kinds of people, how bad you want a hug sometimes, or when you need a hug, and when you reach out or something, or somebody doesn't even bother to ask you if you're okay or if you want a hug. Imagine how sad that is. Like that doesn't like make or break anything or super toxic, But imagine if you're crying because you lost your pet and somebody comes and gives you a hug, or your partner actually sits down and asks you if you're okay and holds your hand when they never done that before. Like, imagine how seen you would feel. And if you're on the other side, if you don't really hug your partner and they have voiced that they like physical touch, or, or you could just see that your friend or whoever like really needs a hug or is having a bad time. And imagine how much you can uplift their spirits by giving somebody a hug. And so this, to wrap this all the way around, it's like if you can't do that, like if you can't be loving toward yourself, if you can't do things for yourself, you can't accept them. So imagine that even like as simple as a hug, think of that, how much you're missing out or how much other people are missing out if you're the one not providing that, like little things, hugs, whatever. Um, it just, yeah, just to paint a picture. I hope that painted a picture for you. But yeah, start by small things. If whatever, I'm trying to think of like an actual example. Like if you're like, oh yeah, that's why I put the example of hugs. Sorry guys. Mommy brain. Okay. um like with Dante, my partner, I can just say his name, y'all get to know his name. uh is like, okay, incremental. And I never pressured him for him to hug me because I know I could feel, I'm a big empath, and I could feel his energy shift, like in his body lock up, even though he didn't make a face. I could just sense it spiritually, emotionally. It was like, whoa. And so I would just, okay. And in my head, I'd be like, I could really use a hug, or that was really empty. And I can laugh about it now because we worked on it so much. But yeah, start simple. If you never give hugs, just start by little ones. Like, okay, I feel really awkward hugging my brother. I feel really awkward giving my, okay, even parents, because I feel like parents are also this way. Like, okay, I feel really awkward hugging my child or whatever, or I feel really awkward hugging my mom, but I know that they could use it. So start with the little, like, all right, here you go. And then like a smile, and that's it. And then over time, increase it, or be the one receiving it. Over time, increase the time, increase the frequency, whatever. And so, again, this could be for anything that you want to do, or want more of, or want to do more of. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be in your court now. You have to think of those things that you want or you need or you crave, or in the back of your mind you're like, that would be nice, or that couple looks so nice doing this, or look at that brother and sister, I wish we could be like that, but blah, blah, blah. Those little thoughts that nag at you, there's little messages in that. So take it slow, get your body used to it, get your mind used to like these little things, so you're not like super turned off. I bet like if I were to give my partner long hugs since the get-go and didn't let him go and hugged him as much as I wanted to, which I like a lot of hugs, he would have felt really uncomfortable. And it's not like nothing, he's not bad for that. It's just, he grew up void of some things, and we understand that now. And yeah, I probably would have made him feel like I'm a clingy girlfriend, and with good reason, from his perspective, that was his truth, right? Or that would have been his truth, right? So it's not to name people that they're wrong or right for doing or not doing. Is we are able to do and receive according to our personal, emotional, and subconscious bandwidth. So go on out there into the world, go get it, and remember, if we can't meet our own needs, we will have a hard time receiving. Okay, so I always tell my girls, mother knows best. If you know Tangled, you'll know that part. And I normally just kind of randomly yell it out, and both my girls, well, Amara and Maxine, they'll finish it for me. And I love saying that because I usually am right, by the way. Not to toot my own horn, but as far as my family, I should say, um, Dante usually likes to argue with me on things, and I'm like, girl, I don't even know why you're arguing because we already know that who's gonna be right, and I'm right like 90. I would say 90% of the time. We'll give him some grace. I was gonna say 95, but we'll give him 10%. So I'm right 90% of the time. So I love doing it, and then the girls say that after me. Uh, yeah, it's all great. But yeah, like I said, take it slow, take it easy, take account into the things that make you feel cringe that quote unquote shouldn't feel cringe, that um are part of a whole wholesome, joyful, happy happy life, happy relationships. Um Even if you were never modeled that, because I feel like a lot of us never had good examples of like love and affection or this or whatever. Um, and it might be foreign to us. Like, well, what is that? I don't know. Google some stuff. We have a lot of information at our fingertips. Google it. If you don't know how, start somewhere. Okay, how can I improve my relationship here? How can I improve with this and this and that? Like, and then you'll start seeing the light bulbs light up. But with that, I'll leave you. Thank you so much for listening. If you're still here, I think we're back on our weekly schedule, I want to say. And yes, please rate the show. Hopefully, you guys learn something on this. That is my goal. My mission is to reach even one of you and help you in any way. And yes, have a beautiful day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.